Um, why is it wrong to be gay? But can we kind of edit that prompt to like, why is it wrong to be trans?
All right, sure, take it away.
So like, why are you gonna transform your body into? Well, first of all, do you believe in God? Are
I
you
believe in
Christian or
God.
Catholic?
Yeah, Christian.
Okay, why are you gonna change your body when God doesn't make mistakes and He created you to be who you are?
Okay, surgeries are wrong. LASIK surgery is wrong. Yes. People who are born blind shouldn't get LASIK surgery. Yes.
Those are your eyes. That's to
It's
help you
part of your
see
body.
better.
It's part of your body, and it's how God created you. Did not
Yes,
create
but
that
that's
person to be
to help
blind.
you. That's to help you see better.
Okay, and there are specific
And
circumstances
you
where
change your.
there are specific circumstances where surgeries actually are beneficial, not only for people's mental health, but there's not just there's also social transitions as well when you're referencing that. But I mean, it could be help for the mental health. There are specific circumstances where people need puberty blockers, etc., etc. So there's some even like cis people need some certain things that you would say, oh, it's for trans people. Like even cis people use these options.
Your vision is out of your control compared to what's down there and what you chop off and put something else.
Gender is out
So
of
that
your
was
control
like,
too. You can't choose to be trans.
bro, what?
You can't choose to be trans.
Yes, you can.
Yeah. Can you choose to be gay?
Yeah,
Okay. Choose to find me sexually attractive right now for half a second.
you can, but I don't think so. I'm not
So
gonna
no.
think.
Choose. Say you find me sexually attractive for half a second and then take it back
Why would I do that?
because you can choose. So choose it. Go ahead. Choose. Say you are You say
If
you
you
are
know I
choosing.
can choose it, then why would you make me
Yeah.
say it?
Say you are choosing to find me sexually attractive for half a second, then take it back. Say it.
That makes no sense, dude.
The reason why it doesn't make any sense is because you also can't choose to be gay. If you think you can choose to be gay, I think you might be bisexual.
Then what do you think
Listen,
about the
listen.
people that turn trans and then they
Remix,
untrans themselves?
remix. If you think you can choose to be gay, you might be bisexual, right? Because you cannot choose to be gay. There's actually scientific data behind this. The brain comparing straight men to gay men, and the way it's in the way that you actually look at the neurology of it. So no, you cannot choose to be gay. If you think you can choose to be gay, you're bisexual. You're most likely not to be bisexual. And you're gonna say, why do people have regret rates? There is regret rates for everything. Just because people have regret rates doesn't mean that we should ban that process altogether. Doesn't mean that we should make that process not exist. Doesn't mean that they're not trans. Doesn't mean any of that.
So you believe in science and not Christianity?
I believe in science and I believe in God.
Okay, you can only believe in one. There's no science.
You heard that?
God could have created science. What's the argument that God didn't create science?
I'm
God can
sorry.
create anything.
I'm not trying to argue. I'm trying to have a conversation. I just think your argument doesn't make any sense. It is a choice to be trans. You can make that choice.
Can you choose to be can you choose to be lesbian?
Yes, you can.
Okay. Can you choose to be lesbian right now? Just announce that you're lesbian for like half a second.
Like you just said, that's a choice. And my choice in life is to be straight because I feel straight.
But
I was born
you can
straight.
choose to be. Yeah, you were
You
born
can
straight. You were
choose.
born
You can
straight, just as
choose.
gay people were born gay or lesbian people were born lesbian. Yes, what you just said, you were born straight. Yes.
Yes, everyone was
You
born
can't. Yes.
straight.
No, not everyone. But
Everyone.
I already told you about the
So people
neurology of
out
it,
the
and the
womb. So people out the womb as a baby, when you're out the womb, your umbilical cord's not even cut yet, and you want to look at your baby and say he's gay.
no,
So is that what you're saying?
Parents cannot determine if their children are gay
Right.
or
So as a
straight.
baby, when your brain isn't fully developed, do you think they know that they're gay?
They don't know
So
that
what
they're
age do you
straight either.
think?
They don't know that they're
What
straight
age do you
either.
think? What age do you think they are gay? When do you think
Yeah,
that happens?
yeah. I think as soon as they get into like kindergarten, I think they might have like
Mhm.
crushes
Okay.
on like boys or girls within their class.
Right, right.
Obviously, if like they grow up in a Christian conservative household and their parents are like, you cannot like at 5 years old, their parents are like, you cannot like boys. If they're a boy, then that boy
Right.
is gonna be forced to like girls within their classroom and not boys, and they'll have to hide their feelings for boys. But
Right.
I think that we can start teaching this in schools when they learn sex ed, so around
Right.
13, 14
Right.
years old. But people cannot choose to be gay, cannot choose to be trans or
Okay.
bisexual.
So did you just hear your argument? You just said your parents are telling you that, as in your it's a learning thing. You're taught that. So
No,
you're taught to
no,
either be
you're
straight or you're taught to be gay. It's what you see. It's what you
you're
surround yourself
forced to be.
by.
Yes.
No, you're
Yes, you're
not
forced to be. Yes.
forced. You're
Because
not
if people
forced. It's what you are.
if you have an option within your household to be gay or to be straight and you're not demonized for that, then you're going to be straight or gay without having to be demonized it. But if you're demonized for being gay, you are more likely than not to be closeted and not tell people that you're gay, and instead pursue relationships if you're a minor with girls, and if you're an adult with women. Right? That's why a lot of conservatives are closeted.
That's why people need to, like, it's a growing thing. You're supposed to learn that as like you grow up. It's
That
a
it's okay to
decision
like
you
men.
make.
Yes, it's okay to like men.
It's something,
Men
yeah,
can like
but
men.
as you're getting older, but as a kid, you cannot tell me that as a child they know that they're gay. They're not fully developed it. They
I mean,
haven't
as a
really
child,
gone
as
through.
a child, I knew that I was maybe not like straight and gay, maybe not like
Mhm,
heterosexual and homosexual, but I knew that I liked
mhm.
girls. Like as a little boy, I
Okay.
knew that I liked other little girls as a little boy when I was in
Right,
kindergarten and
right,
first
because
grade.
it's what you surrounded yourself with. It's what
No, it's
you
because
looked around.
it was at the time it was my preference. I was attracted to girls when I was a
Right,
minor, right?
right.
And someone who is gay who is also a minor are going to be attracted to boys.
Do you still like girls?
Yes, I do. I'm straight.
Okay, so it was natural. You were born like that, right? Like you naturally
Yes.
just like girls.
Yes. Gay people are
Right.
actually also born like that. You can look at the
Mm.
neuroscience on that, on the brain. Gay men are
Do
and their
you
brain are
do you
different
think you
compared to
can
straight men.
provide that for me? Because
Yeah, I
I'm
got
genuinely
you.
curious.
I
I'm
got
honestly
you.
curious.
I got you. Can you choose to find your like mom sexually attractive?
Uh, that's a little odd. That would
Can you
kind of
though?
make you sick.
Can you though?
If you're sick in the head, probably.
So you
There's
can
no way.
choose.
I mean, you can choose whatever you want. You have in life, you can make your choice in literally anything.
Yeah,
There's
you can't
choices
choose your
to
sexual preferences
everything.
though.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
If
Just
you
like when you're
if you think you
trans.
can choose your sexual preferences, you might be
Right.
bisexual.
So
I'm just gonna let you know.
no, because if you are trans, there's some people that regret doing that and they go back to being what they were
Gotcha.
initially created.
Sure.
So what's your
Yeah. So
argument on
this is
that
gonna be my
one?
source. Variations in brain's connectivity pathways have also been noted. For instance, the anterior commissure have also been reported to be larger in homosexual men compared to heterosexual men, so gay men compared to straight men and women. Modern neuroimaging studies have also explored the distribution of gray and white matter, finding differences in cortical thickness and surface area and regions involved in sensory processing, specifically the calcarine sulcus, an area primarily responsible for visual processing, has also shown sexual orientation related differences. So that's in reference to the brain and the neurology of the brain. There's
The
literally difference within the
sensory
brain.
processing. So there's a blockage in sensory processing. It's because I
No,
need you to zoom
it's
out a
this part
tad
first.
bit. Yeah, no, I'm reading the sensory processing part though. The cortical thickness and surface. I just need you to zoom out a tad. I can't fully read.
Yeah, I got you.
There's some words that are cut off. There you go.
There we go. So you're gonna look at the
Um,
gray. That's what we're gonna be focusing on. That's in reference to like the brain
I'm
and the
so
neurology of
sorry.
it.
Do you think you can zoom out a little more?
Oh yeah, that's my bad. I can see it on my end too. I don't want the letters to be too small though. So let me know if you can read it.
Is there words after distribution of gray and white? Or like that's it right there, and then it
Yeah,
goes
that's
into
it. Yeah,
matter.
and then yeah, that's it.
Okay,
And
so
then you can read this. You can
neuroimaging.
read this full thing as well. There's more, but I mainly wanted to focus on this first one, which is a claim that I made.
Do you mind reading the where it starts off with modern as well? It's because it says something about Trump in the way the bio to support. I can't really read that sentence.
Oh yeah, my bad. Let me move that one. Yeah,
Thank you.
modern neuroimaging studies have also explored the distribution of gray and white matter, finding differences in cortical thickness and surface area in regions involved in sensory processing. So specifically, the calcarine sulcus, an area primarily responsible for visual processing, has shown sexual orientation related differences. So there are differences within the brain and within neurology between homosexual men and heterosexual men and women.
With sensory processing, it kind of sounds almost like this is a
And then
not.
there's
I'm not
more of
trying to
this.
sound rude or like I just can't find a different word other than like a mental, like a like
It's not a
something wrong with your
it's not a mental
brain.
it's not a mental illness. It's not in the DSM-5. It's not recognized in the DSM-5
But
as a
it's
mental
over here
illness.
saying at the top that there's
It's no,
sensory processing, and also
it's
there's
because that's how they were born. It's literally it's how their brain was made. They're just attracted to their same gender, right? You can continue reading this article.
Where was this article? Science of Nights? It's a little blurry.
Scienceofnights.org. But yeah, what this proves is just that there is evidence, and there's a lot more than just this article. Right, so if you do your own research, there is a lot more than just this one article. That
Oh,
actually.
dang it. I was.
Oh, did you want to read it more?
Yeah.
Yeah, let me just give you the title so that you can like research it. Are there differences between a gay brain and a straight brain, quote unquote? From scienceinsights.org. It's not just this article, by the way. There's multiple other articles that help prove this in terms of neurology, and there is science behind this that gay
Because
men are
I
different.
don't think it can only take like trauma as a kid, because there are some cases where people turn gay due to trauma.
They
But
were
there's
always
also
gay.
cases,
They didn't turn gay. They were always gay.
but there's literally gay people that interview saying that they turn gay because of the trauma they went through as a kid. There's literally proof of it. There's people out there that talk about
If
their
they say
trauma.
if it's going to be related into their trauma, but that doesn't mean that they turn gay. Right? They
But
might
what
be.
they say in their statements is the reason why they turned gay was because they didn't have a good relationship and they were only taught gay things in life, which is why they turned gay. There's literal proof of people interviewed, female, male, due to trauma. So some, like
So
in cases, it is a mental illness.
there's a lot of like people who are raised in like heterosexual families who turn out to be gay. There's a lot of heterosexual
Or like
people.
some parents
There's a lot of
want
heterosexual
a,
people that are born in like homosexual relationships that are like still gay, right? So you being raised with gay parents, straight parents doesn't matter. It doesn't change your sexual orientation. Obviously, there can be trauma that like could make you view different, but it doesn't mean that you chose to be gay. You cannot choose your sexuality. If you think you can choose your
unwell.
if you think you can choose your sexuality, you might be bisexual, and that's something that you might want to
No,
explore.
I don't. I am not. I'm like 100% sure I'm not bisexual. I only like men, but I do think that you can choose to be gay and straight. So I mean gay and straight.
The science shows
Yes, gay and
otherwise.
straight. Science?
Yeah.
Okay, so there's nothing wrong with having choices. It doesn't mean I'm bisexual. I can tell you myself, like I'm my own person. I'm courageous enough to get on this live and have this talk with you, so don't you think I would be courageous enough to admit that I'm bisexual? Right. I would admit that.
Again, like you said, there can also be trauma. Like if you are like forced into thinking you're straight when in reality you're not.
I think a lot
born in
of
like a
people go
conservative
through
Christian
trauma
family.
and stuff, but it doesn't, I'm telling you, like there's some cases out there that people have used their trauma as an excuse to be gay. But everybody's gone through trauma in their life, and I can tell you that I'm straight, and none of my family have ever forced me to say you're straight. They've never brought up, because I'm Christian, and they've never used my religion against me saying like that's against God. No,
Right.
it's just how I was raised.
But you were raised. Were you raised to thinking like being lesbian is wrong?
No, I saw that everywhere, but I'm straight.
The only reason why I said is like you might be bisexual is because you cannot choose to be like gay or lesbian
Yes,
or
Jules,
straight.
excuse.
You cannot choose that. And that's according to the science and the neurology of brain, comparing straight men to like gay men and their brain. It's just literally not a choice. If you think it's a choice, it might be like a slippery slope down you thinking like that down you being like bisexual or even like lesbian, etc., etc. But I'm not saying you are. I'm just saying it could lead to that if you hold this belief, right? That's what most people who hold this belief like actually experience.
I don't think so.
Do you think the people that are bi were born to just be bi? They like both men and girls, or
yes? You cannot choose your sexual orientation. Like again, you just can't.
But I had a question. So someone that wants to be trans, and then later on over the years, they change their mind and they're like, I don't even know why I did that, and they go back to being their initial gender. What would you call that?
I mean, depends if you're talking about gender fluid.
No, I'm just talking about like in general, someone that a male, I'll use a male, whichever. They transform into a female. As they're a female for a minute, they start to realize they regret it and they never really wanted to be a female. So they go back to being a male. What would you call that? Would you think that it's like they were born to make that decision? They were born to be confused? What's the
They
argument they
they
made?
detransitioned. Yeah, I don't know
Yes,
what the
so were
question
they,
is.
but my question is, were they born confused?
Were they born confused? No. So
Yes.
again,
So then why would
it's
they
gonna be a low regret rate.
detransition?
Why would they detransition?
If they
If
were
you,
born, they should know that they wanted to be a female, right? Is what they're born, they know what they want to be when they're born. That's your argument. But they're confused. They want to go back to being a
no,
male.
like a newborn does not know that if they're like a girl or a boy.
No, but that was your argument from the jump, was that
I said you can't
you know.
choose. You can't choose. I didn't say you know. I said you can't choose.
Yeah, but over here they chose to go back to being a male
Yeah,
because
in
we
terms of
have
like,
encounters like that.
if you're talking about like socially detransitioning, or like medically like detransitioning, like getting surgeries and then having regret rates. Regret rates are going to be really, 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 really low, and B, I just
Mhm.
it it's such a like non-issue because
No, it is an issue.
you don't know when when you're born. You don't know if that you're like trans. You don't know that you're gay, that you're straight. You don't know any of that. You don't know your sexual preferences,
Okay, so
your
like
gender
around
identity.
kindergarten is what you said earlier. Kindergarten, you should know, right? Is what you said?
I mean, I was talking about like for sexual, for your sexual orientation of like who you're attracted to. I mean,
So then what
some
age do
guy
you think you should be to know whether or not you're gay or straight? What age do you think is correct?
it like whenever you have the ability to acknowledge that you like the same gender is when you're like gay or lesbian or bi. I'm confused.
Okay, so that's not a it's not a choice, right?
It's not.
They just know. So that was my question, is
Well, it's not
when
that
they are
it's not that they don't just know.
detransitioning.
It's not that they don't. Some people don't know, or some people are closeted for like ever because of how they were raised. They don't know. It's not that they know. I'm saying if they
Well,
have the
that's what
ability
you
to, if they have
just
the ability
said.
to. Some people don't have the ability to acknowledge that they're gay or bisexual or lesbian. Some people don't have the
So
ability to acknowledge that.
so when they are detransitioning, shouldn't they have already known what they wanted to be? Why would they? And even regardless if it's a rare uh occasion to you, it's not that rare. It's actually everywhere. That's why I'm
Less than
using
one
it as an
percent. Less
argument.
than 1%
It's
detransition.
really not
But
less 1% because I
it
can scroll through my For You page, or I can go online and I can look up people that detransition. It's not as small as you think it is of a community.
there
There's
is
some people
statistics for
that,
this.
yes, and what you've read, but what I've read, it's pretty much, it happens all over the world. People detransition a lot. So what would the, like, where would the knowing come in that situation?
The no, yeah, again, they might be gender fluid. That could be an option. But that's for them to figure, like that's for them to figure out, to determine. That's for them to like talk to people, have a good support system if they might be gender fluid, if they might be trans, and not them being demonized for the actions that they
So
take.
did they have a choice
Did they have a choice for what? For being
to de-
trans?
to detransition? Do you think that was a choice,
Like
or should they have stayed
socially, or like after getting surgeries, or what are we referencing here? Because like
in general?
because like it is a choice to like go and get surgery.
Correct,
Right.
because they want to be female.
It is a choice to like get a like socially transition, right? But like within like a trans woman like being a woman, that's not a choice. Like the trans women being like trans women like are, that's not a choice, right? Other aspects that they can choose, yes, like that is a choice.
So if they get surgeries to become a full-on female, it's not a choice.
Going to get a surgery is a choice. Yes.
Right, but to be a female because they're born.
Some people choose not to get surgery. Some people do. That's their own personal decision to make.
No, yeah, but I'm asking, like, as they should know at the certain age what they're attracted
It's not a
to.
certain age. Like again, it's not
You
a
did
certain
say,
age.
though, it was a certain age when they know better as to what they like. Because obviously it can't be a
Well, no, because
kindergarten.
there are some people who are raised in a conservative Christian household who are
Yes, and I
demonized and
didn't,
thinking that they can't be gay, so they don't
yeah,
know
and I
until
didn't
later on in
disagree
life.
with that, but that's not everyone.
Right.
That's
So
not
exactly. So it's
everyone.
not a specific age. So you saying I said a specific age, that's disingenuous because I never said a specific age. I'm simply saying that like whenever you have the ability to acknowledge that you are attracted to the same gender, is when like you acknowledge that, right? It doesn't mean that you chose to be gay, because you were like
So
always
five
gay.
years. So 5 years later, So 5 years later, I finally think to myself, you know what? Like, I really like boys. I'm gonna start dating and looking for boys. Would you say at that moment in time when I actually think and change my thoughts on how I view men is when I changed to being gay?
You were well. I mean, if you're attracted to women, you would always be
Or
you
like you said before,
right.
like you said
You would have
before.
always
No,
been
no,
gay or
no, no. Hold
bisexual.
on, hold on, hold on. Like you said before, you said no. You were just born gay because you're just gay.
Yes. Yeah, you've always been gay. You've always been bisexual. And if in like 5 years, you come to say like you like men, you've always been gay or
Yeah.
bisexual. If you like women, you're bisexual. If you just like men, then you've always been gay.
You see how confusing this is, and
It's
no
really
one can.
not
It would just keep
confusing.
going back and forth.
It's not
No, it very is.
well, maybe like you guys aren't like really
That's
paying
probably why people
attention.
detransition.
It's really not No.
You can't even have babies. Can men get pregnant?
Can men get
Huh?
pregnant? That's a very disingenuous question. Can all women get pregnant?
It's just a question. It's a yes or no
Can
question.
every
Can
single
men
woman
get
get
pregnant?
pregnant?
No, the question is,
Precisely.
can men get pregnant?
No pivoting away. It's
Yeah,
just a yes or no question.
can all
It's
women get pregnant?
because there's a reason why I'm asking.
Hold on.
Not all.
Yeah, not precisely. So, what is a woman? Can we define a woman? What is a woman?
A woman that has a uterus. Anyone that has a uterus. Yep. Anyone
so
that a
chromosomes?
female that has a uterus is a woman.
A female that has a uterus
Oh,
is a
what did you
woman. And then chromosomes.
Yes.
You said my mom in the chat.
Because males.
Yeah, what about
don't-
intersex people?
A girl who has a girl who has a vagina too is a woman.
What about intersex people?
Intersex people?
Yeah.
You're lagging.
Sorry, I might be lagging.
Yeah, I
a
didn't hear
bit.
what you just said.
Yeah, what about intersex people? Chat, am I lagging? My bad.
No, I don't think you're lagging in the chat. It's just you're cutting off like on our end. Like you can't fully like you'll say a sentence and then it cuts off.
I think that might be.
And then yeah, you're starting to lag.
Yeah, hold on. Give me 1 second. Can you hear me better now?
Yeah.
So what about intersex people? Those don't meet your qualifications for like a woman or man.
An intersex person?
Yes, they exist.
No, yes, I know.
Right.
I don't know. It's different with those. I never
Right, but
really
that
heard
would be
any
a
of those,
contradiction.
honestly. I haven't really.
But that would be a contradiction within your own
Yeah, but you see
definition.
how all of this is confusing?
It's not
Like when it
confusing.
comes to intersex people and then like this whole
Let
it
me just
really is. That's why there's people
simplify
that
for you.
detransition.
Then let me simplify it for you.
Okay.
A trans woman is gonna be, or a woman
Go
is gonna
for
be,
it.
a woman is gonna be an adult human that has a desire to be in accordance with a particular set of norms that align with the female sex in reference to their gender identity. Right? It's not that difficult to understand. Right? In my
I
definition,
thought a woman is someone with a uterus. That's why they say if you don't have a uterus, you don't have an opinion. You haven't
Sure.
heard that?
I've heard that about.
That's literally what females tell males.
So there's a difference between gender and sex. We're talking about gender, okay? A woman is an adult human that has a desire to be in accordance with a particular set of norms that typically align with the female
So we're
sex
talking about
in
gender.
reference to gender identity. Yes, that is what a woman is. Right? Under my definition.
Okay, so gender is literally in this generation, gender is a choice. Everyone chooses
No,
regardless or
it's
not
not a
what the hell they
choice.
want to be. Female, boy. Yes, it is a choice because there's people. That's why I asked you a question. Can men get pregnant?
That's not a
This has
choice.
nothing to do with women because there's women out there.
Can you attack?
There's
my
women that are
definition?
infertile.
Why are you scared to answer the question, dude?
I
can
gave
men
you
get
my
pregnant?
definition.
Yes or no?
Can you just attack my definition and then I'll answer
But
the
why
question?
are you
you
dodging
asked your
ours?
definition after I asked
Yeah,
my
because
question.
that's obviously a disingenuous question, and I'm not going to engage.
It's not. It's a simple yes or no.
Dude, I'm glad you're straight, but also be fucking for real, dude.
So yeah, men can get pregnant.
Men can?
Yes.
Okay, now we're playing around.
No,
Because
trans
that's
men are
why-
men. Trans men are men. like trans men are
No,
female.
they're not.
Yeah, so
So
under
then
my
why are you even
definition.
calling them trans men? You should just call them
Yeah,
men.
yeah, we should just call them men, but because
Or-
there's people,
or-
because,
or-
but
or
well,
women.
we should just call them men, but because people like you hate them so much, we need to refer to them as like trans men because of people like you, right? I agree. We should. There are men. Let's call them men, right? But people like you don't see them as men.
Oh, you just said trans men can get pregnant, but because a
But I believe
transgender man is
I think
initially
a
a female,
no, but
is
you asked
initially a female.
That's
So
why I
she
said
is born
that's why
with a
it's
uterus.
he.
But
First
when
off,
it comes to an
hold on,
actual male, okay, wait, I was letting you
No,
talk
because that's
this whole
this
time.
is why I didn't want to answer the question because that's disingenuous. You said, "Can men get pregnant?" Under my worldview,
not.
under my worldview, trans men are men. Therefore, men can get pregnant because trans men are men. Now you're
Okay,
switching
wait,
it to
wait, wait.
males
Can a
and females.
transgender-
Now
can a
you're switching to males and
transgender
females.
woman-
No, hold on. I answered your question. Attack my
No,
definition.
you just
I
didn't
answered your
wanna
question.
answer the question.
Hold on. You said, "Can men get pregnant?" I said
You
yes because I
didn't,
think trans men are
though.
men. Can you answer my question, or can you actually
But
address
there
the?
you go.
the
You're talking
the-
about a trans man, not an
but
actual
yeah, and
man.
I think trans men are men.
You're not
A
talking about an actual
sure,
man.
Sure. Hold on. A man is
Okay, so a
hold
man
on.
that's
A man is an adult human that has a desire to be in accordance with a particular set of norms that typically align with the male sex in reference to their gender identity. I am talking about men. Trans men are men. That's why instead of you asking these disingenuous questions, how about you attack my definition of a woman and a man? Again, a man or a woman is going to be an adult human that have a desire to be in accordance with the particular set of norms that typically align with a female or male sex in reference to their gender identity. Stop asking these disingenuous questions and attack my definition,
you
and then we
literally
can get
changed
somewhere.
up the question. I asked an actual
You asked, "Can
man,
men
not
get
a
pregnant?"
transgender man.
Yes, and I think
no,
trans
an
men are
actual
men.
man, not
I think
transgender
yes.
man.
What do you
not
what's
transgender man.
yes?
Not transgender
Trans
men.
men are men. They're men.
Not trans. Okay, but I'm talking about. I am
You're
talking
talking about real
a
men.
like if
Trans
you were
men are
born.
men. Trans
yes.
men are real men. Trans
Oh
men
my
are real
gosh.
men.
Okay. I'll let you say that. Trans men.
Sure.
Trans
now that I
men
answered
or
your
men?
question.
Okay.
Now that I answered the question,
No,
attack
you
my
did
definition.
not answer my
Hold on.
question.
You
did not answer my question.
you said yes, trans men
you
are
did
men.
not answer my question.
What was you?
You
I'll
did
steal
not
man.
answer my question.
I'll repeat your question. Your question was, "Can men get pregnant?" My answer, yes.
Not
yes,
trans men. Not
yes.
trans men. Not trans
hold
men.
on.
Not trans men.
Trans men are men.
I did hold on. Okay, but not them. We're
Not
excluding
Talking
trans?
about
them.
the
Why-
men that have penises, bro. The men that have penises, bro.
The men
that have
pen-
penises.
the
Can
men
they
that
get
have
pregnant?
penises. Not all men have penises.
Can you get pregnant? Can you get
Can
pregnant?
I
Jamal?
get pregnant? No, I can't get pregnant.
Can you get?
No,
That's
I
what I'm
can't.
talking about. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah,
End the
what's
convo.
my-
Let's just leave.
what's my gender?
You're not gonna win with these. You're not gonna win with these people.
You're gonna run away, bro. Run away, bro. What? Just because I can't get pregnant doesn't mean that like the whole group of it. Like that's like saying like what?